I noticed lately some girls in my comment section asking if my face ratings are available for women as well, or are they male exclusive. And one actually reached out and bought one of my face ratings. So I thought I'd do a video on how men and women get rated differently, in my opinion at least. I will also go a bit more in depth into my rating system because in the last video I did about rating facial attractiveness, it was vague and unclear. And I will rate a random guy and girl's faces from the True Rate Me subreddit to give an example. And also this video will not go over the SMV of both men and women. So let's keep this conversation civilized in the comment section please. Like the rest of my videos, this will be split into multiple parts. There will be a timestamp on screen and in the description. Part 1. The differences in rating male and female faces. The True Rate Me subreddit ratings. If you want to get your face rated by me with personalized look max and advice to improve your looks, link will be in the description. Without further ado, let's get this started. There are traits that both men and women share that makes them attractive. But within those same traits, the importance of certain features can change from male to female. I'm gonna try and make this as clear as I can. First, let's go over what can make a man or a woman's face unattractive. And the first thing on that list would be high body fat. Sorry ladies, but I'm not gonna be soft on ya. This isn't the fat acceptance movement where they lie to each other to create a safety bubble that leads them down a path of self-destruction. For most women, being over 20% body fat is where your score is gonna start taking some blows. As for men, I think around 16 to 17% body fat is where you start losing points in terms of attractiveness. But again, that depends on your genetics, facial features, and how much body fat you hold in your face. And that's because women tend to naturally hold more body fat because the estrogen reduces a woman's ability to burn energy after eating, and because their bodies are meant to bear children. So being overweight will hide the main features that makes a person attractive. Firstly, your jaw, it will look like it seamlessly transitioned from neck to face, without a jaw body to contrast in between. Looking at attractive people's faces, you see that the body of the mandible is always shown. This applies for both men and women. And high body fat will also make you lose your original face shape. For example, if you have a square face shape, it's gonna become round, and don't get me started on the double chin. Fat will also hurt your mid-face. Having visible cheekbones is highly attractive. You might also have hollow cheeks, but you can't know if you are obese. And I know this will come as a surprise, but all that extra body weight will make your eyes closer set, which is unattractive. I think this about covers the basics of body fat. Now let's move on to the next part. A recessed mandible and severely recessed chin will hit your rating hard, and it will usually drop you to a 5 out of 10 or below. This includes overbites and underbites. When it comes to gonial angles, from all the faces I rated so far, I noticed that anything in between 115 degrees and 135 degrees is good. This applies to both men and women. A mid-face ratio of 1:1 is attractive. Anything slightly above or below will be fine. But anything way above or below is a big no-no. It will either result in your face looking scrunched or too tall. An underdeveloped maxilla is still unattractive for both genders. When it comes to the eyes, they should be around one eye apart. Wide-set or close-set eyes are originally considered unattractive. As for the eyes themselves, having lots of scleral show is also no good. And finally, the forehead. If it's too long to the point that it throws off your facial harmony, then that puts your rating at risk. Now that we know what can severely harm your rating, let's move on. Yes, I know I left some stuff out, but I'm gonna discuss it in a bit. Women can rock a lot of jaw shapes, from wide masculine jaws to V-shaped jaws to a round or narrow one. The sky's the limit as long as the jaw is well developed. As for men, a jaw needs to be wide for it to be considered attractive. If you have an average jaw, it's gonna hurt your rating unless your mid-face and eye regions are very well developed and attractive. So that's the first difference. Women can rock a variety of jaw shapes and still score higher than men. That's cause unlike men, if a woman have a masculine jaw, she will be considered hot and dangerous. And if she has a round or narrow one, she will be considered cute. And the same thing can be said for the chin to philtrum ratio. I think for women, the range is wider. They can be attractive with a chin to philtrum ratio of 1 to 1.5 to 1 to 2.5. Anything below or above that will harm your attractiveness. But there are things men can rock that women can't, and that's a face with a wider chin. I think this only looks good on men. So in simple man's terms, the jaw for both genders is of high importance for attractiveness, but women can rock more jaw shapes. Now let's talk about the features in the mid-face, mainly the nose and lips. This is where the tides shift in favor of the men. Now, in my opinion, and many others who studied this stuff agree that the nose for women is of high importance. In fact, a woman might have everything going well for her, But a big nose, wide nose, or a masculine nose will stick out like a sore thumb and throw the face out of proportions. So the nose for women is of high importance, and for men is of medium importance, because men can still be highly attractive with big noses. And malformalities or deformities in the nose will hit your rating despite of gender. This goes for any facial features except maybe the ears. I know some people down in the comments will mention it, so I said it to get it out of the way. Again, same would go for the lips. I would say they are of high importance to women, and for men they are mid to high importance. It depends on the face of the person. So yeah, having full lips is important. This is why lip filler injections are mostly done by women. They know the importance of the lips. Same can be said for rhinoplasty surgery. Most of them are done by women. So moving forward to the eye area, this is where the tides shifts in the favor of the women again. This is because women can simply rock all kind of eye shapes. Almond, round, hooded, upturned, downturned, monolid, as long as the upper eyelid exposure is minimal and there is little to no scleral show. As for men, it is preferable if the shape of the eyes are almond or hooded, with a neutral or positive cantle tilt. I'm not saying men cannot rock downturned eyes. I'm saying the majority won't look good with round or downturned eyes. You need a solid jaw area and mid-face for those to look good. Example, Timothée Chalamet, he have downturned eyes, but they give him that soft, laid-back look, because his jaw and mid-face are solid. And then when it comes to the eyebrows, again I'm starting to sound like a broken record, but women can rock more eyebrow shapes. Upturned, downturned, curved, and anything in between. While for men to have attractive eyebrows, the shape needs to be either flat or upturned, or with a slight curve at the end. Anything other than that, then you will start struggling. And finally, I think that the forehead length and hair and teeth are of high importance for both men and women. So I created a list. Let's do a quick recap on the differences between men and women when it comes to facial features. The jaw. For both men and women, it is of high importance, but women can rock more shapes. The midface, the nose and the lips are of high importance for women and of medium to high importance for men. The eyes are of high importance to both, but women can rock more eye shapes. And finally, forehead length, hair and teeth are of high importance to both. So let's talk about rating, or how we specifically rate people. Different YouTubers or people who rate faces use different techniques. As for me, I take each feature of the face. As you guys can see here from the pictures, I included the features. Then I rate them on a scale of 1 to 5. This will give me a good idea on how each facial feature scores. Keep in mind that not all features are on the same level. There are 3 levels of importance in my rating system. Features that hold high importance, features that hold medium importance, and features that hold low importance. Then I add to this how well your features harmonizes with each other. Then I add to it which category of men the person is, soft, in between, or hypermasculine. Then ethnicity plays a role as well. Then I would give a final score and areas where improvement might be needed. If you score low in important features, then you are most likely a 5 or below a 5. If you score well in important features but mixed results in features of medium importance, then you are most likely in between that 6 and 7.5 category. If you score well in both, then you are an 8 and above. Features of little importance, if you score low in them, they can take quarter or half a point of your score. Sometimes they can deduct a point at best. I also forgot to mention that in some cases, let's say the person I'm rating is black, and black people usually have bigger noses and lips, I will not rate African features by white people's standards. The gender you have, your ethnicity also plays a role on how low or high you can score in certain areas. I think you guys are starting to get a general idea of what I'm talking about. I have an example here of what a guy in the 7th category looks like. I got this from the True Rate Me subreddit, and he got rated a 6 there. I swear these guys are corrupted by nihilism. So what makes him in the 7 range but not an 8, even though I'm sure many guys and girls will find this guy attractive? Well, I'm gonna give you a shortened review of his face, because face ratings takes a lot of time and I will be skipping a lot of minute details. His lower third is very well developed and wide, which is good. Even though I don't have picture of his side profile, his ramus do seem to be pretty lengthy, which is also good. The gonial angle seems to be around 115 and 125 degrees, also good. And from the looks of it, he do seems to have a projected chin and forwardly grown mandible. This is also good, but this isn't 100% accurate because I don't have a picture of the side profile. The mid-face ratio is 1 to 1, perfect. The eyes distance is 1 eye apart. The nose, the lips, everything is great. But if that's so, why didn't he rate an 8 then? Well, Even though I presume his cheekbones are high, they are not positioned away from the jawbone, which will give him the hollow model cheeks. Also, his midface lacks definition, no visible lines. The eyebrows are a little bit light colored, which might be due to the lighting. This makes the eyebrows look like they lack fullness. And if you look at the eyes, you can see that the right eye is more covered than the left eye, and the left eye have a more positive canthal shell than the right eye. These differences are what separates the 7s from the 8s, but I would say he is still attractive between a 7 and a 7.5 out of 10. Looking at this girl's face from the same subreddit, we can see that like the dude we just rated, she also have a very well developed lower third, very symmetrical face, perfect nose shape and size, and full lips, but she still scores a 6.5 out of 10. That's cause she scored low in crucial features, and those are the eye spacing. Her eyes are wider set and not one eye apart. The forehead is long, throwing her face out of proportion. I did this terrible Photoshop morph where I shortened her forehead to show you guys the difference. And the fact that she managed to score a 6.5 out of 10 even with these flaws goes to show you how good the rest of her features are. That's it for today's video, guys, and the new ladies, of course. I'm sorry I didn't went into heavy details. That would take around half an hour, if not more. If you guys want long breakdowns of people's faces, let me know down in the comment section, and like usual, catch you guys in the next one.